What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at the Beast Hunters Voyager Optimus Prime. And I gotta say, right off the bat, I really like this guy. If you look at him, you can tell he's got some paint work that I've done to him to really just kind of jazz him up. I'm gonna put a stock photo at the end in the photo section so you can see what he looks like, but essentially there was a lot of this really kind of dull gray plastic, and I took all of it off and painted it silver, painted the rims. These windows used to be yellow, I made them green to match the green translucent on the front. Kind of finished the grill down here where they didn't paint, stuff like that, just kind of little details. And I really like that they have the molding on this wing here, so it really kind of looked like Optimus Prime stripe. So it's been a really fun mold to mess with, even from just a kind of a customizing aspect. But yeah, he's a pretty mean looking semi-truck. There's really not a whole ton to say. He does roll. I find that these front wheels don't tend to roll so great just because of how this like bumper thing is hinged onto it. So yeah, he does roll, but just not super well. All his accessories do store on his truck mode. As you can see, he does have these two like bow and arrow type missile launchers that go on either side, and of course they are a spring-loaded gimmick, so they fire as one would expect. We'll just put them to the side for now. And then he's got this really nice looking sword here, nice translucent green. You know, really nice. I really like that. And you can just kind of see what I did with the customizing here. I kind of feel like he should have an Autobot logo on the side, but it really does mimic his G1 trailer, so I like it. And usually I don't display it with the weapon, so I just kind of hide these side holes to make that stripe straight, which I think looks better. So for some size comparisons here before we get on to doing his transformation to vehicle mode, here's your Henkei Optimus Prime. You can see he's a little bit shorter, but I would say he's bulked out in the back a whole bunch more than this Optimus. Definitely a little bit wider, so you do get a decent toy for the, well, this only cost 20 bucks at the time. I guess it depends which store. And the only other Beast Hunters Autobot at this point that I'm really compelled to get is Bumblebee, just because he looks so darn psychotic. So there's another size comparison here. So transforming this guy to robot mode is actually a relatively simple task. I'm going to also show you at the end of the video how to transform him back to his vehicle mode. But basically start by taking this and bringing it all the way around to the front and pegging it together like that, and just kind of bring this down here. Then what you're going to do is unpeg the legs and the arms. Everything really pegs really nice on this guy. And just kind of straighten everything out here, and we'll go ahead and do these feet while we're at it. And if you are going to customize, these feet are a huge pain. I actually had to Dremel a piece off to get the larger piece out because of how they had it pinned. It did not want to go. Anyway, let's bring this on up here. What you're going to do is kind of bring this up and bring it all the way around like so. And then unpeg these wings from the side of the arms here. And mine are a little bit tight because of the paint, but that's okay. Like that. And then we can bring this whole assembly up. And here's where you can really see that's the plastic that everything was colored prior to being added silver. Anyway, bring this around to the front here, and it'll peg in right where the mirrors of the truck are. And bring this around again. And that'll peg, like I said. Like so. And then we just bring out his head. It just flips up and around, and then you can just kind of bring this back down. Backpack is supposed to sit kind of like this, and then everything will fold down. And if you did it right, and we'll see. I'm sorry, it sits like this. Take these and sit it like that, so the wheels kind of go into this back cavity here a little. And when you bring this down, you'll see that there's the tabs here and there's the slots here. They don't really hold as far as I can see, but it at least lets you know that you've got it all positioned correctly. Now you can, of course, leave the wings folded down if you want. It does make his smokestacks just stick out the back, but it doesn't look horrible. And there you go, you've got Optimus here. And you can adjust these pads if you want them up, you want them out, or you want them down. I prefer them out like that. I think it gives them a very nice look. And there's Optimus, looking pretty darn spiffy, if I do say so myself. Nice 360 shot here. Really a nice feeling toy. He does feel a little bit cheap because he's definitely more hollow than some of the old toys, but I still think he feels like he's worth the $20. So let's actually put these wings how we're supposed to and deploy them. So when you fold them out like this, that's what actually gives you the room to rotate the smokestacks down. And then it's just a matter of kind of adjusting them however you like. As they rotate it up. Oop, wrong way. Like that. And there's Optimus with his whole wing pack deployed. Articulation on this guy, pretty good. You are a little bit limited by his shoulder kibble here, but you can move the wings out of the way to kind of mess with it. He does have a nice clicky ratchet here, upper swivel, standard elbow, a wrist rotation, which I forgot to put the fists in a way that looked normal. I don't believe he has a waist here. I've never really, I guess, investigated enough, but oh, he does. But it's kind of one of those awkward waists that doesn't really look very good when he's rotating. So, in my opinion, not a very good waist. Again, swivel here, the side-to-side movement, a nice clicky knee, and then of course a little bit of articulation on the feet just out of transformation. So, oh, and his knee also has the rotation there. So really nice range of movement out of him. You can also give him his accessories, of course. And I think he looks just beastly carrying his huge sword here. And I like to take these and I open them like so. And I actually peg one right in the bottom of his fist, like that. And I take the other one, open it the same, and put it on the top of his fist, just to give him a crazy bow and arrow weapon. And I unpegged his arms up here. So yeah, he is pretty armed to the teeth, and I think that looks pretty darn good. Just for some size comparisons here, I have our Classics version, so you can just see the size difference here. And of course, once again, the crazy Bumblebee. So, pretty good size. And let me get a close-up of his face here, because when I first saw this guy, it kind of bothered me because I thought it looked like RC wearing Optimus's helmet, and it's not quite so bad in person. Focus. There we go. It's got a weird, kind of like smirky, whatever look to it. I guess it still kind of looks a little bit like RC, but his face is filled out a little bit nicer, so it's not the worst thing I've seen. But yeah, I figured I would show you guys that. So transforming this guy back to his vehicle mode is pretty easy. It just makes sure you have it in the right order. We're going to start by putting his wings back in what I call the stored mode. And we'll just lift that up here. And we're going to start by taking this, dropping the back piece here, and just kind of spin him around. And we can also take his head and just fold that down like so. Now what you want to do is have these arms straight out in front like this, and then take that gray piece and swivel it all the way down and back around with the arm still straight. I'll show you again from the top. Basically, take that, swivel it all the way around like so. Now the next step you want to do is bring this wing assembly down, and there are little holes in the tops of the forearms and pegs in the center plate piece of the wing assembly, and you want to plug that in. Then next, what you want to do, and be careful especially if you decide to paint this, you want to get the wing with the hole on it, and you're going to plug its peg into the side here like so on each one. And like I said, just be careful if you paint it that you don't rub off your paint. And this is important to do because you saw how or you may have heard, you may not have seen, my hands like squeeze together when I was trying to do that, and that's a problem when it gets to the legs if you try to plug these wings in prior to getting to the legs. So there you go, you got that like this. Now you're just going to let it tilt back like so, and then we'll fold up his feet here, and it's a matter of just kind of bringing them up so on a tilt so that the pegs here are going to peg in down here. So once you know you have that right, just kind of do it to both sides, squeeze them on together, and then putting these feet down, you don't have to do that, but I just want to show you the plug in there. It'll clip pretty securely. I turn the fists this way just to hide them better in truck mode. Bring your feet back up here, and now you just have the front. Bring it up, lock it in, unpeg this here, swivel it around, make sure your gray pieces are out of the way, and again on the side you have a hole, matching tab, peg it on in, bring it around, peg it on in, and then just make sure that you bring these bumpers up. There's a little recess there to sit in, and there you go, Optimus Prime in his truck mode again. So very cool toy. I highly recommend him. I think he's totally worth the $20. I really enjoy this toy. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and as always, I will see you next week.